I walked out here planning to check on the turmeric, and instead found 2 cucumbers hiding in plain sight, including one that looks like it missed the memo on when to stop growing. But that wasn't the biggest surprise today. A couple parts of the garden gave me good news, and one part gave me news I wasn't ready for. Let me show you what happened. Hello and welcome to Bowtie Life and the Bowtie Gardens. There's not a lot going on because, well, this is October. Well, technically it's the second day of November, but we're going to be doing a October garden tour because normally I do this at the end of the month, and I wanted to show you a few things for the month of October. Yeah, I know, technically it's November, but we're going to make it work. Of course, first thing I want to show you is the GreenStalk, all the parsley. It's just growing strong in here. I love that this stuff is growing as strong as it is. There's a few weeds in here. I don't do a lot of care for this GreenStalk, or I haven't this year, but we've been talking about strawberries a lot, and I wanted to show you. You just cannot believe how many more strawberry runners we are getting. Look at that beautiful runner right there. We're going to be taking these runners and planting them into empty pockets and continuing to populate this with more and more strawberry plants so that next spring, when these things start to produce, we're going to actually have some strawberries on this thing. Look at this, though. I mean, just runners going everywhere. There's the other one I was looking for. This thing has another runner up here. I don't even have a place to put that one yet. There's parsley down here. Oh, that's not parsley. That's something else right there. But yeah, very exciting to see all that. This thing does get turned about every once in a while. I'm not going to admit to how seldom it really gets turned. Oh, look, there's another one. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at. Okay. Just take a look at how these things can propagate. The original strawberry plant is actually right here. This thing right here had a runner that went over here, which has its own babies. Another 2 runners there for other places. It then went over here. Oh, this thing actually has 2 sets of runners. Good grief. Look at all the plants coming out of this. One little thing. And then we've got this coming out. This is just amazing because you really can never run out of strawberry plants with the right kinds of strawberries. This is just so exciting. I'm happy to have free plants because, yes, I am a cheapskate. And then we get a few that die, like that one right there. You know what? It's okay. Doesn't matter because I have so many free plants in here, including this little ivy that doesn't belong here. And another flower leaf. But we're going to continue to try to get this GreenStalk planted out in strawberries mostly. There's still some broccoli in here, and I saw a dino kale around the bottom here somewhere that's still trying to produce. There it is. Look right there. This is a dino kale. I was not very impressed with how big the leaves got. They never got very big. And they're not as tasty as the ones that I grow up in ground. So anyway, we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. And yes, this is kind of an odd garden tour. This is our raised garden bed tour that we normally do as part 3 of each month's garden tours. We jumped right into the beds. I didn't even do an introduction of what we're doing today, but there is so much going on in here. And I mean, look at the amazing turmeric flowers. We've been getting these turmeric flowers just popping up everywhere. I've lost count of how many of them we've gotten. It's been a lot. And of course, the zinnias that are popping up everywhere is just a beautiful pop of color. Here's another turmeric flower. These things are just going nuts. And that means that we're going to be harvesting turmeric probably in November, which means the next garden tour for the raised beds, we're going to see what we can harvest and pull out of the ground because I'm hoping for a lot. In fact, we're growing it everywhere. We're even growing it in the front and side gardens, which that's the first part of these garden tours. We're growing it in the outer garden beds. We have a few plants that we're going to try to dig up, and possibly, depending on how they look. But we're looking for these things to start dying back. And you can see some of these plants actually have dead leaves, which is what we're looking for. This one still has a bit of life left in it, so I don't want to harvest this just yet. We'll be harvesting it. I'm pretty sure last year it was the end of November, when we did all the harvesting, and we got, I believe, off the top of my head, I believe it was 10 or 12 pounds of turmeric. I have a feeling it's going to be more, because look over there, those huge plants, and those aren't even the biggest ones. They're big, but not the biggest. So turmeric is going to be going nuts this year. I am just thrilled with that. And these leaf flower, they tend to grow up everywhere, but I just pull them as I see them. And sometimes I see them and I forget to pull them. We do, of course, have ginger down. That's not ginger, that's grass. We do, of course, have ginger down in here. And the ginger is, oh, here we go. Here's a ginger right there. It's just growing as an understory. Well, both turmeric and ginger are both understory. This is a lot of ginger up in here that's growing. And we'll be sifting through, seeing what we can pull out of here by way of the ginger. The blackberries, of course, we worked very hard on getting these blackberries growing fresh, new primocanes for this year. These primocanes next year will become floricanes, and that's when they start putting out flowers and eventually buds for blackberries. And we're going to have a lot of blackberries. Mrs. Bowtie is very anxious to start a batch of blackberry wine, and just every once in a while I just come in here and I'll poke these things through and get them fed up in the trellis. But we did have a cucumber plant right here, which you can see is completely gone now. It is dead. That one produced us about 30 pounds of cucumbers. And then over on the other side, which we'll get over here a little bit more later, but we have another plant here that produced a couple of more cucumbers just last week. And of course, the cucumbers this year, what would they be without a few surprises? If I look around here, we're going to take a peek down hidden below here, and we have not just one cucumber, but two cucumbers. That's pretty funny. I need to keep a closer eye on these things. If you haven't done so yet, go over to Facebook and find Bowtie Life on Facebook, and be sure to join the Bowtie Bunch. Right now, the doors are open, and I can tell you it's not going to be that way for very much longer, but the doors are open. Request to join, and we will let you in. There's going to be some other things going on in the Bowtie Bunch group in the near future, and we're starting to get an image of what that might be. So be sure to join that group sooner than later. And now I can see this thing is totally gone. There is nothing left of it. The two cucumbers we had were down over there. You can see in this video, I was very surprised to discover them growing. Amazing. Well, we're going to go back over here to bed number 1, because this is where I always start. I like to do these things in order because it kind of keeps my brain straight. And when I'm referring back to these, I know exactly where in the video to go to get my whatever I'm looking up at the time, as I will go and look up things and see what's going on. More blackberries on this second trellis. Some of these are broken. That's okay, because these things are going to just grow prolifically. And of course, we're coming down in here in bed number 1 to the pepper bed, and we have Peri in here. We have all kinds of Tabasco down here, and that's a Fatali right there, which is a very hot pepper. Look at all the Fatali. We have a whole bunch of jalapenos. In fact, I was just up inside here looking at the jalapenos. You can see there's a big one right down there. There's another big one up over there, and I know this branch right here has several on it. Big monster mammoth jalapenos, just looking beautiful. We're kind of waiting for them to change color, but yeah, before we harvest them. That plant over there is a Peppadew, which is a much milder pepper. Let me go over to the other side over there. Here's one of the Peppadew peppers right here. It is a round pepper. They turn red. There's some pretty good sized ones in here, but we've actually done a few of these. In fact, this is what I ate, what I called the Pumbaa in Jason over at Allotment of the Dead. When he ate the warthog, I ate one of these, kind of in solidarity for him, in support while we were on his thing. There's a symbol in the upper right hand corner of the screen that means There's a link in the description to his video. Of course, we ate Dorset Nagas back on October 9th, which got our channel monetized, which was very exciting. But we each ate 2 Dorset Nagas, which were really quite shocking to the system. 1.3 to 1.6 million on the Scoville scale, and I'm pretty sure that the one I ate was probably below 1.3 because this is Sunday, November 2nd. Just a few days ago on Thursday, September 30th, I ate a Dorset Naga. We'll talk about those Dorset Nagas more, but I ate a Dorset Naga that had been ripening on the vine for 3 weeks. It was significantly hotter. These are more Fatali. These are more of the Peri. They are small. These plants were overwintered from last year, and I think these may have been overwintered from the year before. So these Peri are kind of not new plants, and I will be planting new ones. Here's another one of these Peri. They're starting to slow down in production, but they're beautiful pepper, and they have a bit of spice to them. There's another... there's a Peri looking. Oh, that's a branch coming off. Look how big this thing is. I mean, isn't this thing a monster? It's just absolutely amazing how big these pepper plants can grow. And look at all the new branches growing off in there all over the place. Another Peri. There is a Peppadew plant down in here, and these plants are just all so bunched together that it's almost difficult to tell them apart other than looking at the fruit like that right there and say, oh, yes, that's a Peppadew. So I was just standing over there, and we come back to this side, and we got the Blackberry arbor. We're on the back side of bed number 2. It kind of loops around in a C right here. And you can see here, this plant right here is our Dorset Naga. And that one isn't producing yet, but this one is starting to show buds and fruit, which is very nice. I haven't eaten anything off of this yet or harvested anything off of it yet because it just hasn't produced yet. And I don't know if it was this location because neither one of these have done very fantastic. And I'm a little concerned because we're getting into November now. A little concerned if we're going to even be able to harvest any red fruit off of this. This is the Dorset Naga. In fact, there's a symbol now up in the upper hand corner that links you to our live stream where I ate a Dorset Naga live on camera. And we're actually going to put out another video of me eating a Dorset Naga, that hotter one, which will be linked in the same place under a doctor's observation while taking an EKG as to what's happening to my body while eating peppers. And I think the results were kind of interesting. Our mystery tree here, I don't know what it is. I don't really like it in here. Coming over to bed number 2. We started off with bed number 3 over there that has a C shape. We're now starting into bed number 2, which is a long straight line. You can see we have an Everglades tomato plant just sprawling everywhere. Now that's a very small one, but they're still tasty. This right here is the big turmeric plant, and I'm kind of anxious to come in here and harvest this. There's one plant here, another plant over there. You can see how monstrous those leaves are. I'm holding the camera up at about 5.5 feet, and you can see based on the horizon it's going above my head. Now granted, it is planted about 6 inches above my feet, so yeah, do with it as you will. I don't know what's up with these paper wasps, but they really seem to enjoy sitting on these turmeric leaves. I've seen several of them around, and this one here, he's just sitting over there enjoying that leaf like it's home. So, oh, there's another Everglades tomato hiding out in there. We have not had great production this year, I will admit. The tomato production has been low, but I do see lots of blooms, and if we can keep enough good weather here in the next few weeks, we might be able to get a whole bunch of these. We have been dipping into the 50s Fahrenheit. That's getting below 15 degrees Celsius, and it's starting to feel really good in the mornings, and we're starting just barely starting to get that chill that we're looking for when it's that time of year. I'm going to step over to the other side over there and show you some other surprise tomatoes that we've got going. So working our way through here, I do want to show you we have a surprise tie hot plant that decided to pop up out of nowhere. And next to that, we have our monster basil plant. This thing is just going nuts. I've been picking off the flowering tips from this thing and just kind of throwing them in the bed. But I don't want this thing to go sour quite yet, but it will. It's going to go sour here very shortly. Then back here, of course, we have the mystery pepper. And if anybody has a clue what this might be, I don't believe it's going to be a spicy pepper. It came in a package of color mixed bell peppers seeds, and obviously it is marked incorrectly, and it could have just been a random seed within the package. I don't know. We'll find out what that is when it comes time. But we do have over here, and some of you, if you follow along, you know we had 2 Principe Borghese tomato plants in here, and that is exactly what this thing is right here, just kind of sprawling out on the table. Is coming up out of nowhere down in there. And oh, well, we're going to talk about those beans in just a minute, but is coming out of nowhere is this dead looking thing, and it has just decided it's going to continue growing tomatoes. Principe Borghese has been a surprise plant for me many times, and you can see there's some right there. There's also a bunch up over here. This particular cultivar of tomato has just always been a comeback story. You can see down there, there's actually a whole rack of them. Very excited about that. So hopefully we're wanting to get at least some tomatoes out of this year. If you're liking this shorter format of the garden tour, please let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on the matter. And then, of course, yes, the beans back there are nuts. And we planted these beans, I don't know, back in April. Here, I'll put a snippet on the screen of me planting these seeds in the month we planted them. This really didn't produce much. We actually got a few meals out of this, few servings out of this, and without much. And then now that it's fall and almost past fall, we're starting to get beans, and we've actually canned up several jars of beans in the pressure canner, so Mrs. Bowtie can have some hopefully through the winter. And I have not harvested in a few days because I was waiting to get this video recorded, and you can see now there's one I'll leave on to grow a little more. But it's just exciting to finally have beans coming out of these plants. And you can see there's another one that's coming out. We'll have to wait for that one. There's beans across the other side as well. But these things, they have just been sitting, quietly growing leaves, vines, and roots for the whole year until they're ready to produce. And here they are producing, just happy as a clam. It's pretty amazing. I recently saw Marshall Farmer talking about don't tear your plants out so just because they're looking bad. Yeah, these are looking bad, but they're already given us several servings of beans, and they're going to give us some more because I'm still coming out and picking from them. We have a few Sungold tomato plants that are surprisingly still alive. There's a bit of a mess up in here, and I probably should come in and pull out more of this brown stuff. I continually pulling it out, but look at there. You can see there's a Sungold right there. That's absolutely our favorite tomato. There's a whole bunch of them in here that are growing, and we'll get a few of these Sungold to enjoy before the season is over. And that brings us down to the back side, the very tail end of bed number 2. We have a mint bag down here. Yep, mint, folks. I grow a lot of mint, but I keep it in control because it actually helps to keep rats and other pests at least under control. It's not a 100% solution, folks, but it is a good natural way to slow them down. And that's really all I'm looking for, just to slow them down. And we haven't had a lot of critters eating our stuff. So you can see there's one of our foil tags. It says chocolate mint. That goes down in there. After bed number 2, we have our aloe patch, and we uncovered a few of these last month, and you can see there's still good looking aloe in there. This aloe is still growing strong underneath everything. If I come down here and look in this mess down here, there's an aloe right there growing. There are several aloe growing underneath here just happily right now. and they will continue to be happy because they're protected. They'll be insulated from the cold when it hits, and they're going to be just fine. Something I just love to see. These Biden's alba, if you saw the segment on planting out the peach tree, you know that these Biden's alba actually keep undergrowth under control, a little bit allelopathic, and very exciting to see how well they work. You can see how much the bees love this Biden's alba too, which is the other reason I like keeping them around. We do not have our bee box. In fact, I talked about it in that segment. Our colony died. There was just not much left of it, but we still have just lots and lots and lots of bees all over these Biden's alba. I don't know where they're going, but they are still feeding on these Biden's alba. And of course, the butterflies over here. And yes, we're coming around here to bed number 3, the third of the 3 raised beds, and looky here, more turmeric. Now this stuff is a little more ready to give it up than some of the other turmeric. It's interesting that we have new growth coming out down here. That's the turmeric roots that have grown, starting their own plants now, which means there's something going on under the ground, and it's a good thing because there's going to be quite the harvest under there. All the zinnias, I love these. Every time we come across one of these, I say, look at that right there. You see that? Some people say, oh, that's terrible. Cut it off and throw it away. Folks, that's several packets of seeds for next year. And so what I do is I will break these off, stick it in my pocket, and it will go inside, dry, and it will be seeds for next year. Stick that in my pocket. Hopefully I'll remember. I won't have a garden in my pocket. There's more of those zinnia flowers over there that look dead. Yes, they're dead, but they are seeds for next year. We do have a lot of strawberry plants in here, and amazingly enough, I've been excited to show you this. We actually started all these plants from runners from around the garden, and look what this thing is doing now. This thing has another runner over here, and look at that root. See, that's a new plant that's just ready and aching to go. And there's another new plant ready and aching to go, and it'll make another one. We're going to be taking these and doing the same thing we did before, poking them in the ground. I'll have to pin this down. It's not holding, and I don't have a pin with me. But look, here's another runner with more plants. Strawberries just want to give. They live to give. That's just all I can say about them. More over here. All these strawberries are starting to... that's not a runner. That's not a runner either. I did see some runners on this. Oh, that one got nibbled off. Oh, here it is. There's the other runner. I'll come out here with some clips so we can get these things pinned into the ground, and so they will develop. Just tons of strawberry plants growing everywhere. And I mean, look at this. This is just really growing strong. Oh, there's new growth under here. It's just getting ready to explode and be amazing for this next year. So hopefully we're going to get a good amount of strawberries from this bed. I do want to mention our brand new Amazon store. We now have a store on Amazon, and if you use that link in the description below to go to our store, anything you buy on Amazon, we get a small portion of it. Doesn't change your price. It doesn't change any of the conditions, but you do help Bowtie Life grow and develop some more stuff for in the garden, possibly buying seeds, whatever we need to do. It helps. Every little bit helps. So be sure to use that store link as you're doing your regular shopping, because it's not just the stuff listed in the store that we get a little bit of. Anything you buy, if you start with that, anything you buy that day, we get a little portion of. So appreciate your help. Appreciate you starting at our Amazon store. More mint over there. That's chocolate mint. Of course, all the zinnias here in bed number 3. More turmeric growing up behind our citronella plant, which this thing is just a monster. It has just gone into a life of its own, and I'm very excited to see that, because we're going to be taking more cuttings from that eventually so we can have more of these in the garden. I want to have a dozen of these citronella plants around. And yes, they do. They help control mosquitoes. They really do. There's another strawberry plant down there just aching to go. Just getting ready to go. Very excited about that. The next bed here is the turmeric bed. Right now, lots and lots of turmeric. I mean, look how thick these plants are growing down here. This is just amazing how many stems there are. which means there's going to be a ton of turmeric underneath this plant. And we also planted some corms, C-O-R-M, from elephant garlic down here below us, right below the camera, and nothing's going to happen until next year, but we're going to kind of keep an eye on those. All these little trees that are trying to grow, we'll always pull those out when we can. Here's another one, a different kind that I like pulling. If you get them this early, they come out with clean roots. So yep, tons and tons of turmeric. All the blooms up in here, it's just amazing. I think they are just so beautiful, just so beautiful. And we're coming, of course, around to the end of bed number 3. Can you believe it? We just jumped right into this, and we're kind of running behind this month. So yes, I did take a few little shortcuts here. We talked a little bit about the weather, how the weather has been changing on us. That's really great. Because the weather is changing, we have lots of stuff growing, but we're heading back over here. And now this right here is my impressive Dorset Naga. Do you see all those fruit right there? Look at the fruit. That's just mind-blowing. We have tons and tons of Dorset Naga peppers in here. We will be freezing some of these. I will be using these. One of the things I want to try next time we make pickles, I want to do a hot pickle with some Dorset Nagas. Oh, those things are just so beautiful. There's got to be at least 2 dozen peppers on this plant right now. I'm going to step over to the other side so we can get a better look. Yeah. So this is really amazing. Just pepper after pepper after. These Dorset Nagas are very hot. If they sit on the vine longer, of course, they'll be hotter, which is what I want. So I'm going to let these sit as long as I can to get as red as they can and become hot, and season up some stuff properly. There's another couple over there. I mean, they're just everywhere. These are some beautiful looking peppers. I am so excited about these. That one there is looking a little bit worn. It's been bitten or whatever happens to it. Now remember, insects and birds don't have the receptors to sense the capsaicin heat in these peppers, and so they will get these, and I just have to kind of be patient, let them have some, because they're allowed. They do other things for us in the garden. And look at all of them under here. Yeah, there's a ginger plant that's going to be pretty big right there. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have got to show you the roots coming out of this ginger. Is that not? Oh, and it's flowering. Oh my goodness. Look at there. This ginger right here. In fact, let me get this leaf flower out of the way. You can see a big old hunk of ginger right there. That's going to be beautiful for eating. It's got a couple of flower heads right here, and I just realized a couple of raised garden bed tours ago, I had one of these in my hand. I was trying to figure out what it was. It was a ginger, yeah. So, oh my goodness, look at all that ginger down there. I don't know how big that's going to end up being, but I can't wait to harvest this and see what we get. I don't think we're going to have as much ginger as we're having turmeric, but I'm hopeful. This is a Supersweet 100, which I think may have finally given up the ghost. I don't see anything living on it on this side. Oh, well, yep, here we go. Here's a little bit coming out of it still. So, and it doesn't look very good, does it? It's kind of looking a little tired. So this Supersweet 100 is probably not going to produce anything else for us this year. Oh, I do see, what is this right here? I think that might be a Sungold right there. Yeah, that's got to be a Sungold. So I'm tracing this around. It looks like this might be Supersweet 100, and there's actually a couple of tomatoes on this vine. We'll have to see what color it comes out to. If it turns red, we'll know that's a Supersweet 100 as well, but that's okay. Interesting. These things have surprised me sometimes. The very last thing that we always cover is this Gojiberry plant, and you can see there is the last of the Gojiberries. I didn't get much off of it this year. I didn't really focus on it. We've been busy with the house remodel and other things, so our harvest this year has been lacking, to say the oh, here's a tomato plant. This is probably Supersweet 100 as well. That's what I'm going to guess, and I'll have to watch for fruit off of that. There's more Gojiberry. We have a Gojiberry plant down here that's suffering. I'm hoping it'll come back next year. I will need to come in here and kind of clean out all the mess. We got the ivy, the Virginia creeper that's growing everywhere. And yeah, it's a little bit of a mess in here. And so there we have it, the raised garden bed tour. This is a little bit different format than I usually do. Tell me in the comments if you like this format better, where we don't do any introduction, we just get right into it. I am running way short on time this month. Last month, because I haven't even finished editing the first part of the garden tours, and we'll have to get there. It has just been very hectic. I got monetized. I've been helping other people get monetized. I've been working on other projects, like remodeling the house. You can see here we got more of the ceiling scraping done. I'm excited to say we're coming down to the end of the ceiling scraping pretty soon. And so this is going to be hopefully a lot better here pretty soon. But these Dorset Naga here, this is my pride and joy right now, because these things are super duper hot, and just really thoroughly enjoyed eating that one on the EKG. Again, there's a link in the description below to that video when it comes out. And there you have it. That's the raised garden bed tour, and we'll have to see what we can do for next month. Let me know if you like these shorter versions of the garden tours. It does have another draw to it because it is shorter, because I get talking on about a lot of stuff. I really covered everything, and if you want to know like the specific cultivars, you can look in the description below, where I talk more about what the cultivars are in the timestamp index in the description below. So yeah, just let me know what you think of this experimental format that I'm doing today, that I'm really kind of falling into out of necessity. We didn't even do the garden GPS this month because I just don't have time to do all of that, and I hope I will be getting back to that in the future. But I would like to hear your thoughts on what's going on with that. Thank you for following along. I appreciate everyone who watches the channel. Be sure to click like, leave a comment below if you have any questions, or better yet, I learned so much from all of you. If you have any experiences to share, please tell me in the comments below. I so appreciate hearing from everybody. I've learned more than I can tell you in comments from other people, because a lot of times it gives me an idea to go try another experiment, and boom, there's another experiment, and I've learned something else that I can do. I've got mosquitoes out here. I don't know if you're seeing them or not, but they're little itty bitty mosquitoes everywhere out here. And I'm sitting down here on the ground. I'm watching one right there. Yeah. He's trying to find me. I better get out of here before he finds me. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed day.